If you look back at the history of engineering, humans have achieved what was once considered impossible. We stepped on the moon. We built skyscrapers that touched the sky. We built tunnels beneath the oceans, connecting entire continents. Even after all this progress, there is something that still leaves the greatest engineers in the world speechless. The magnificent pyramids of Egypt, where technology seems to end and questions begin. This is a 4,500-year-old challenge that still challenges every machine, every mind, and all of science. And maybe that's why the pyramids are not just history, they are a mystery. You are watching Zenvior-Docs, where we don't just tell history, but go deeper into the questions that still demand answers today. And today, we stand before a story that reveals both the greatest strength and the greatest weakness of humanity. The land of Egypt, where sand is not just sand, but a living record, where every grain holds the voices of thousands of years and the winds don't just blow, they carry history along with them. On the plains of Giza plateau stands, and in the middle of that desert, a structure that has fought against time, that has endured storms, that has witnessed empires fall. Yet it still stands today, just as it once did. As if it was built for the first time, the Great Pyramid of Giza, 147 meters tall, spreading across nearly 12 acres, a structure that looks massive from the outside, but is far more complex within, is not in its height or width, but in its precision. Around 2.3 million stones, each weighing between 2 to 60 tons, some even up to 80 tons, assembled in such a way that not even a credit card can pass between them. Such accuracy that even modern engineers today are left wondering. And this is the point where the questions begin. Because today, for millimeter level precision, laser systems, AI monitoring, we use laser systems and advanced machines. But 4,500 years ago, how was this perfection achieved? Was it just hard work or some technique that has been lost to time? But this time, we won't just try to understand this mystery. We will take it as a challenge, because the real question is, if we had to rebuild this pyramid today, could we actually do it? And as soon as we analyze this question in a practical way, reality begins to reveal itself. The first challenge is the ground. Because to support 6 million tons, not just any land is enough, we need land with extremely high load-bearing capacity, where seismic activity is minimal. For this, we need deep geological surveys. Machines will go deep underground, hundreds of feet below, scanning every layer. Pressure tests will be conducted, simulations will be run. Because even the smallest mistake at the base can multiply as we go higher and make the entire structure unstable. After that comes the foundation, the backbone of the entire project, a massive reinforced concrete base, using millions of tons of concrete and steel. Hundreds of machines will work continuously. Thousands of workers will work day and night, and this process will not take months, but years to complete. And even now, we haven't placed a single stone. Yet the scale of the project has already become so massive that stepping back is almost impossible. And this is where begins the real nightmare. Arranging 2.3 million stones, where each stone is not just a block, but a precisely engineered unit that must be cut into exact shape, even with modern diamond wire machines and advanced cutting systems. Only a limited number of blocks can be produced per day, so we need hundreds of machines running 24 hours, non-stop, consuming megawatts of electricity. An entire industrial ecosystem will work just for stone cutting. The quarry will be filled with constant noise, dust, and activity. And every day, costs will rise into millions. But even after cutting, the challenge doesn't end, because every block must be perfectly measured and labeled, so that during construction, it can be placed in the exact position. For this, an advanced tracking system is required, where each stone's identity and position will be recorded. After that comes the biggest logistical challenge: transporting 6 million tons of material over hundreds of kilometers to the construction site. Imagine endless trucks moving continuously on desert highways, engines overheating in extreme heat, fuel consumption is massive, millions of liters of diesel being consumed daily, and every 10 minutes, a truck must arrive at the site to keep the workflow running. If even one delay occurs, It can trigger a chain reaction and disrupt the entire system. But despite all this process will continue for years because the project cannot be stopped. And finally, when all stones reach the site, then begins the most critical phase, construction, where these massive blocks must be lifted to 147 meters. And placed with millimeter precision, cranes will be used. But cranes have limits too. So an entire network must be created, synchronized lifting systems, continuous monitoring, risk management at every step. Because even a small mistake can turn into a catastrophic failure. And as the structure rises higher, complexity will increase. Cranes will need constant repositioning. Calculations will change with every layer. But slowly, the structure will take shape, rising from a flat base, transforming into a massive pyramid. But even then, final perfection remains, the outer casing, a smooth layer of white limestone that transforms the structure into a shining wonder, glowing in sunlight and under moonlight, softly glowing. And when this too is completed, what stands before us is a new pyramid, which may look like an ancient story, but the cost of building it and the effort reveals the greatest limitations of the modern world. And when we calculate its total cost, the number reaches around $3 billion. And even that is not fully accurate because it doesn't include hidden costs, delays, risks, fuel fluctuations, manpower management, environmental impact, and long-term maintenance. Now the question arises, would today's world spend so much money and time on a structure that has no direct practical return? The answer is clear, no, because today we live in a profit-driven world where every project must have a measurable output. But in that era, people were purpose-driven. They had a clear vision, a belief that pushed them to make the impossible possible. And perhaps that is the biggest difference, because today we have technology, machines, automation, but they had that reason which we lack today. And that is why the pyramids even today are not just structures, but a benchmark of human capability, a reminder of what humans can achieve when they have a clear purpose. And that is why, even after 4,500 years, these structures are not just standing, they are challenging us, showing us our limits, and forcing us to think whether we truly are as advanced as we believe ourselves to be. If you have the courage to know the truth, then to Zenvior-Docs, because here, we don't just tell stories. We reveal the truth that the world hides from you. And remember, history is not just the past. It is a mirror in which humans see their true reality.